Our first 2025 Hall of Fame inductee is Sophie Caldwell, class of 2008. Sophie is a retired American cross-country ski racer who specialized in sprint disciplines. Sophie made her debut in FIS Cross Country World Cup in Quebec sprints in December 2012. Sophie got her first victory in the World Cup during the 2016 Tour de Ski, and she won the Classic Sprint in Germany in 2016. With this victory, Sophie was only the second American woman with a victory in the World Cup. And Sophie is also the first American woman to win a Classic World Cup event. In her World Cup career, Sophie had 2 individual wins, 10 individual podiums, 4 team podiums, 139 individual starts, and 19 team starts. Sophie competed in the 2014 and 2018 Olympics. Sophie now lives in Basalt, Colorado with her husband, Simi Hamilton, retired U.S. ski team member and Olympian, and their 2 children. Sophie is currently a ski coach at the Aspen Valley Ski and Snowboard Club. Sophie was not able to make it this weekend, so her sister, Izzy Caldwell, will present for Sophie and accept the award on Sophie's behalf. She really wishes she could be here with everybody. Izzy Caldwell graduated from SMS in 2010, and Izzy's roots run deep in the New England ski community, of course, the family she's from. And through West River, BKL, and Stratton Mountain School, she developed a love of Nordic skiing that led her to Dartmouth College, where she was a varsity member and captain of the ski team. In her coaching roles, Izzy has worked with diverse programs and skiers of all ages and abilities. She's served as youth ski club director and head coach at Frost Mountain Nordic, head coach at Burn Burton Academy, and U8 coach with the Sugar Bowl ski team. Additionally, she has served on the executive committee of Far West Nordic. Currently, Izzy is the Community Engagement Director for NENSA, New England Nordic Ski Association. Please welcome Izzy Caldwell, Sophie's sister and SMS alum, to the stage.
I can't see anyone up here, just an empty room. This is nice. Hello. My name is Isabel, and I'm honored to be speaking about my big sister. My twin brother Austin and I are 2 years younger than Sophie, and I think it would be fitting to begin this speech by talking about our athletic feats as children. We all played soccer as kids. Austin and I were great at running up and down the field the entire game, making ourselves feel like we were really contributing to our team. But as soon as we got the ball, we'd both immediately get rid of it, having no idea what to do when we were actually in control of the game. Sophie, on the other hand, seemed to dribble with ease. She could cut, kick, run, and score, a true force on the field. We grew up skiing in the Bill Koch Youth Ski League, and the top 10 skiers were awarded ribbons after each race. Blue for first, red for second, yellow for third, and so on. Austin and I always had a beautiful collection that encompassed every color of the rainbow. We'd poke fun at Sophie because her collection was so boring. All blue and red ribbons. As we grew older and Sophie began to have national and international success, you would often hear phrases like Sophie Caldwell, granddaughter of John Caldwell, or Sophie Caldwell of the famous Caldwell skiing family. What a lot of people didn't realize was that Sophie was the only Caldwell who could ever sprint. And I'm convinced that skill came from my mother. Austin and I are typical Caldwells. We can keep running all day, but we're the last ones off the start line. I've always wished that one of the headlines about Sophie read, Sophie Caldwell, daughter of athletic phenom, Lillian Dudley Schule. My dad is a great coach, but damn, my mama was an athlete. A hot topic in Nordic skiing right now is youth development. How do we cast a wide enough net so that all kids are willing to put in the work, have the chance to reach their potential, while also making sure that the kids that excel at an early age actually stick with Nordic skiing instead of burning out and pursuing a different sport or leaving athletics altogether? Sophie fell into the latter category. From an early age, it was apparent that she was born to be on skis. I always took so much pride in watching her race the World Cup. The way she danced around her competitors with apparent ease. She never had the highest VO2 max, but her comfort and grace on skis allowed her to be the best in the world. We see so many athletes with this kind of potential get pushed too hard at a young age and grow to despise the sport. When I look at Sophie's career, the thing that stands out to me is that the entire time she was racing, she truly loved it. Nordic skiing in the US has come a long way in the last 20 years. NCAA skiing is now seen as one of the best development pipelines, not only for American skiers, but for skiers across the world. This was not the case when Sophie was graduating high school. Instead, the US ski team was pushing for athletes of her caliber to postpone college and go all in with skiing. Sophie knew that this would not work for her. She had many interests outside of skiing, and she was not ready to commit her life to racing. She went on to have a fabulous time at Dartmouth. After graduating college, Sophie went on to race 9 seasons on the World Cup. She earned 10 podiums and 2 victories. Wow. At the end of each season, she would pause and make herself assess whether or not she was having fun. I think what allowed her to have so much success in her career was that she never let skiing consume her and become her whole life. She always saw it as something that was supposed to bring her joy. Sophie was arguably at the peak of her career when she did decide to hang up her skis, but at that point she was ready for a new life. She is now an amazing mother of 2, and the fact that she never lost her love of the sport is evident in that she followed in my father's footsteps and is now a ski coach. Racing didn't only bring Sophie joy, it brought my whole family joy when we got to watch her compete. We went over to Europe several times for Christmas and got to watch her in the Tour de Ski, and my dad took a sabbatical before retiring so that he and my mother could spend a winter following the World Cup. But most of Sophie's races were watched on the computer. David and I were living in Peru 7 years ago, and that winter, whenever Sophie was racing, we'd make an early morning trek up to my parents' house to watch the live stream video with them. I have this distinct memory of being in the living room. The race was on the TV, and my mom was sitting on the couch with her computer in her lap. She had pulled up the live timing because it was actually live. The video lagged behind by a minute or so. During Sophie's quarterfinal, I was glued to the TV, gripping the armrests of the chair with white knuckles. About halfway through the race, my mother exclaimed, "Yes!" I was furious. "Mom, if you're going to be watching the live timing, then you have to go to a different room." Okay, I'll be quiet. About 30 minutes later, we're on to Sophie's semifinal. I'm once again glued to the TV, and a minute before the finish, I see my mom's face break out into a huge grin, which she quickly tries to conceal. "Mom!" "What? I didn't say anything. You smiled." I don't remember what place my sister came in that day. I think she may have gotten on the podium, but I'll always remember the joy it brought my mother to watch her daughter compete at the highest level. As you move forward with your lives, I hope you all remember Sophie's ski career. Not for the podiums and victories, but to remind yourself that when you are doing something you love, anything is possible. Thank you, and I'm so proud of my big sister. Let's all enjoy this video of Sophie's acceptance speech.
Hi, everyone. I am so sorry not to be there in person tonight, but life has been a little crazy the last few months, so grateful for the opportunity to tune in virtually. It's such an honor to be inducted into the SMS Hall of Fame, and to be inducted alongside my dad makes it even more special, and that much harder not to be there tonight. And before I talk a little about my time at SMS and what I'm up to now, I would love to say a little more about my dad. I've known a lot of very kind people in my life, but it's rare to meet someone who's touched and changed the lives of pretty much every person they've worked with or encountered. My dad is one of those people. Everyone has different relationships with their work. I've never met someone as passionate about their work as my dad was during his years at SMS. He always encouraged us to find something we loved and then to make it work. Watching him be so invested in his work and then come home and be a present and supportive dad was an inspiration to all of us later in our lives now. My brother's a ski coach at CU. I'm a ski coach at the Aspen Valley Ski and Snowboard Club. And my sister works for the New England Nordic Ski Association and is a middle school science teacher. I met my husband through ski racing, and my sister and brother's partners were both their college sweethearts who were on the ski team with them at Dartmouth. So maybe the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, or maybe watching my dad work hard at a job that he genuinely enjoyed showing up to every day shaped what we all sought when it came to careers, family, and work-life balance later in life. After graduating SMS from 2008, I skied for Dartmouth for 4 years and then went on to ski professionally with the U.S. ski team. And my club team was the SMS T2 team, which is the professional ski team that's still based out of Stratton today. I retired from ski racing in the spring of 2021, and now I live out in Basalt, Colorado, with my husband, Simi, and our 2 kids, Lily, who's just over 2.5 now, and Lowell, who is a fresh 3-month-old. When I look back at my time at SMS, it wasn't only my dad who had a lasting impact on my life. I fondly remember attempting to perfect my grammar in Mrs. DeSantis' class. I fell in love with physics in Len Bugle's conceptual physics class. And I remember pouring myself into the book Beloved in Alex Lehman's English class. I felt really lucky to have these amazing teachers at such a small school in rural southern Vermont. I remember the days of waking up at dawn for morning sport, which was the training we did before we went to class, usually, 6 in the morning. Then we would go to a full day of class, do afternoon training, eat dinner, come home, do homework, go to sleep, and then get ready to do it all again the next day. And I genuinely loved it. We had a small, tight-knit community, and we learned together, we traveled together, and we worked hard together. As a result, we got to know our classmates and teammates so well that it turns out it was pretty hard to get rid of each other later in life. My best friends today are the best friends I had when I was at Stratton. Now, instead of hammering out intervals together, we watch our kids grow from babies to toddlers. We swap stories of parenthood, the hard stuff, the fun stuff, the rewarding stuff. We lean on each other through heartbreak, and we celebrate each other through the joys of life that these days usually have nothing to do with ski racing. My dear friend and classmate, Helen Newman, even made my wedding dress, and Matt Whitcomb, who I'm pretty sure is introducing my dad tonight, was the officiant at our wedding. So I think these relationships that we developed through Stratton and through ski racing really do last a lifetime, and they're the people that I'm still closest with today. So even though I live across the country in Colorado now, the community and relationships that I formed at Stratton are something that I think very few people get to experience, and I'll forever be grateful for that. When I graduated SMS at 18 years old, I knew how to work hard and use my head to chase a goal. I had learned how to balance my time when juggling all the different things life threw at me, and granted, life looked a lot different as a 18-year-old as it does now, but I still think those time management skills translate to my life now. And most importantly, at 18 years old, I already knew what a supporting and loving community was supposed to feel like. And I think I've looked for that in every aspect of my life since. So these are lessons that I still lean on today and am forever grateful for. So thank you for the nomination. I really am so sorry I can't be there in person. I wish I could be. And congrats to my dad, and also huge congrats to Pam. I think you were in my mom's class at SMS, and I wish I could be there to hear stories about what she was like in high school. I guess she was cool enough to make my dad fall in love with her, but maybe that's a story for another day. All right, thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. Like I said, I wish I could be there in person, and huge congrats to my dad and Pam. Go on SMS.